Welcome back, guys. Alex here. And if you're new to this channel, I'm on a journey to create financial freedom through creative real estate investing. So if you're on that same path, then be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any good content, which I share for free. And in this video here, I'm going to talk about how to know when to follow up. So let's get started. All right, now this is something that I struggled with for a little while, meaning after I would make prospecting calls, whether they were FSBOs or FRBOs at the time, I didn't really know exactly when I should follow up again, right? So sometimes I'd get a pretty good lead, right? They said they were interested or they wanted to think about it, or it was a maybe. It's like, all right, when should I follow up with them, you know? And to shorten your learning curve, here's what you're gonna wanna do. Before the end of each call that you make, and you get someone that says yes or maybe to, they're open to terms or at least purchase. Well, first off, you're gonna wanna send them, you're gonna wanna get their email and send them some more information. That's what most sellers want. That's part of the process that I was taught and that I do. So I always send them information. I send them a document explaining a lease purchase and terms and more about my company. And I also send them an example document explaining the options. So you're gonna wanna send them something, right? And then you're always gonna wanna ask them, all right, so I should be able to send that this afternoon. Keep in mind, I make my calls in the morning and I send those in the afternoon. So you got a time block. You got to figure out what time you're able to send them that email, whether it's in the afternoon or at night. But I always ask them, okay, so when I send that later today, when do you think you'll have time to review it? Sometimes the seller might say, oh, if you send it today, I should have time to review it this afternoon or this evening. Great. At that point, I try to set up a follow-up call for the next day. But at the very minimum, I know that I'm going to follow up with them by tomorrow, since they said that they were going to review it today. So what I do is save the lead in Podio and put 1 day follow-up as a reminder. It's going to let me know to call them the next day. Now, what if the seller says, oh, I won't be able to review it until this weekend or sometime next week? Great. So I'll still send them the email, and then I'll put into Podio to follow up with them next week. And I recommend having follow-up days. So my follow-up days are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So most likely if it's for next week, I'm going to put them in the follow-up system for next Tuesday. And automatically it's gonna send me a reminder to follow up with them on that day. Now, this is only assuming they're a lead, right? If this is someone that said no to a lease purchase, or if they might be open to it, but you found out that it's listed with an agent, then of course you can't do anything with it. So if it's listed with an agent, I just put it in the file, I put it in Podio to follow up with, depending on when it was listed. So if it was listed yesterday, then it's probably a 3-month listing. I always ask them, when was it listed, how long is the listing for? And then if it's for 3 months, if it's a 90-day listing, I'm follow up probably 2 months from now just to see if it's still available. And as a bonus in this video, I'm gonna tell you what I say on the follow-up call. So the time comes, Podio sends me a reminder, time to call this person. I read the notes. Always take notes when you're on a call with someone. That way you can remember what you spoke about, what their motivation is, etc. And the way I started off is, hey Mary, this is Alex. We spoke the other day regarding the property on Vermont Street. Is now a good time to talk? Great, I was just following up to see if you had reviewed the email that I had sent you. So that's it, I'm just following up to see if they had time to review it, right? And if so, great, well, what questions did they have for me? And then we go over the questions and I gauge their interest level from there, right? Now, let's say they didn't have time to review it after I asked that question. Then I said, great, well, did you happen to receive the email? And if they did, they just didn't have time to review it. Okay, would you like me to follow up tomorrow, or when do you think you'll have time to review it? It's that simple. So you're following up to see if they had time to review what you had sent them. And then if they have, go over any questions. If they haven't, set up another follow-up call and go from there. Now, what if they don't respond? What if you try to call them and they don't get back to you? Well, at that point, I'll probably set up one more follow-up call for the next day after that. And if they don't respond there, then what I do is in Podio, I have a tab that says automated follow-up. And this person now goes into my automated follow-up, in which it's basically my no lead left behind system. So what that is every week I have one new medium in which I follow up with them. So I have an entire list of people within that list. And let's say the first Thursday of the month, I'll email. The second Thursday of the month, I'll do a text message. The third Thursday of the month, I'll do a voice blast. And the fourth Thursday of the month, I will send them direct mail, right? A direct mail piece. And that's really it. That's my system. So if they don't respond. They're gonna keep getting that until I get a response back. Otherwise, they'll be there forever. And once I get a response back, then I either mark them as dead, depending if it's sold or if they're no longer interested, or I'll put them back in my active lead database where, okay, let's follow up 30 days from now or a week from now, whatever it is the conversation led to. So that's it. So now you know how to follow up, you know what to say on your follow-up call, and you know what to do if they don't respond to your follow-ups. Guys, follow-up is 80% of it, right? Prospecting is a small percentage of how you do deals. Yeah, you have to be good at prospecting. Yeah, you have to be disciplined. Yeah, you have to know what to say. You know how to qualify. You have to know how to qualify or disqualify a lead. But more importantly, you're not going to do business with someone right away. You're going to have to follow up consistently, and that takes even more discipline. That's another level of discipline and courage, in my opinion. It takes more courage to make follow-up calls than it does prospecting calls. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. As a reminder, I post live calls every Friday. Those go private by Sunday. And I've also been consistent with posting calls analyzed, right? So every Wednesday I've been posting a live call from previous, and I basically go over the play-by-play. I decide or identify if this is a prospect versus a suspect and what I'm gonna do with the lead next. So be sure to look out for those. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for that type of a call where it's not just the live call, but it's me going over mistakes I've made, good things I said, and again, what I'm gonna do next with the lead and determine if it's a good prospect or just a suspect. So look out for those on Wednesday. Look out for the live calls every Friday. Be sure to subscribe, share all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Look out for the next one.